Hey, what's up? This is Wiseman here today in front of John Kennedy. John Kennedy said in a quote, as you can see in this video, he says, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Look, instead of waiting for help, instead of waiting for the government to do anything for you, sitting down, hoping for them to change your future or your present moment to give you a better life or whatever it is that you are waiting for the government to do for you. Instead of actually doing that, what are you actually doing for your government? Are you being a good citizen? Are you being honest? Are you a young man or woman perhaps taking food stamps while you actually don't need that? You don't have disabilities perhaps, or you actually don't need it at all. You can substitute that food stamp for getting a better job. Wouldn't that be better for you actually, instead of just waiting, or instead of limiting your income, hoping, saying, you know what, I'm not gonna make any more money than I'm making right now, because if I do, guess what? They're gonna take my food stamp away. Don't do that, man. Don't depend on the government. Depend on yourself, just like a bird on your wing. Fly, fly, fly. Depends on your ability. Look, don't hope for there to be change, like for the government to actually change. Hope for you to actually change the way you see the government. Not only the government, the way you see anything that you are looking at. There is a saying, the minute you change the way you look at the thing you are looking at, bound to change for you. It is not the things, it is your perception of those things. So it don't matter what government is here. Do not blame the government. Yes, there are things about any government that we will not like, and there are things that we will like. But just because we agree or disagree with certain things does not mean we should just blame government every day, every night, and using that as an excuse instead of executing it, man, taking the right action towards whatever it is you have to do. So listen, man, after today, looking at the legend, get John Kennedy, all right, and listening, actually me reading out the quote he have put out for all of us to actually reflect upon. Look, it's about time. I'm going to actually bring this closer for you to see this quote for yourself. Look, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Look, it is, like I said, what can you do for your country? Being a good citizen, being loyal to your country, man, right? Yes, we expect the government to help us, to give us security, to give us schooling, to give us certain things that we cannot necessarily provide ourselves. But when it comes to our income or our general life or our happiness, are we depending on the government to give us happiness or the freedom we need? Yes, it gives us the rules that we need to abide by. I don't think the rules are that restricted here to the point that we need to complain and blame. Let's stop the blame game. Everybody can do it. Anyone can do it. Ask yourself, how did it give you any improvements? If it haven't, it's about time for you to reflect back upon yourselves. It's about time, man, to stop blaming the government. If the government is actually your excuse, or you think is the reason why you are not excelling, you are not going further than you're supposed to go, you're probably gonna remain the same until the day you come out of this world. You know why? Because the truth is, no matter how actually the government changes, what needs to change is you. It's the way you see things. Look, the minute you start to look at it a little bit differently, you change the way you see. Trust me, what you see, it's bound to change the way it appears. So, let's say everything, the government. Why aren't you getting a job? The government. Why ain't things going well for you? The government. The government, the government. Why are we blaming the government? It's ourselves, actually. Look, we should not depend on the government to a point that where we think actually it should provide for us to make a living. Look, yes, the government is responsible to help its poor and needies. But if you are a young man and a young woman out there depending on the government to make a way out for you, or you're waiting for the government to change. Let's say today, you might not like the government we have now. That's not an excuse for you to wait for that government to change in order for a new government to come and actually make things easier for you. Believe me, it doesn't matter what government comes in or out, what type of government, whether you like the person governing at the moment or not. Chances are, if you are used to blaming the government, you're gonna forever blame all the governments. If you were waiting at the time of Bush, if you're waiting for Obama to come to make things better, chances are, in times of Obama, you blamed government. You chose one particular thing that you didn't like about his regime, and you were actually attacking that, saying, man, this government ain't doing good. Then now we have Donald Trump. Perhaps you don't actually like what he's doing too. You're blaming things he's doing, and you think he is the reason for you to be where you are, or he is the reason for you to be waiting and hoping for a next new, better government. Look, I myself don't agree with everything of any government, everything in its entirety. There are things I agree with, there are things I disagree with, right? But that does not stop me from moving forward, doing what I have to do. That's the same for you. Wiseman is telling you, Wiseman is telling you, as John Kennedy have actually told you, don't always, I'm adding the always part, don't ask not what your country can do for you. Okay? Yes. And remember, Wiseman is not here to tell you anything new. Wiseman is here to tell you things you already know, but perhaps have forgotten. Until next time, peace.